Hello, guys. Hello. Let me get adjusted here. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday. It is 8:33 p.m. Lots to talk about tonight. Lots of different weather options we're going to talk about. Thanks for joining us. So glad you're here. For us here, and a lot of things are going better. So glad to have you here with us. So if you're joining in, have a seat, sit back, and enjoy the ride. I can't wait to share all this with you. That's what we're here for. So right now we're going to talk about a little bit about weather. We shared that image just a few minutes ago about a plane crash down in Louisville. There was a plane crash down there. Let's go ahead and turn that volume down a little bit. We're going to jam out a little bit while we do this. But there was a plane crash down in Louisville. Looks like I can't see it on the radar currently, so that is good. But I hope you guys are having a good night. Just a little bit about what's going on life-wise right now. So there is the scar. Brace is off right now. Man, I tell you what, it has been a terrible event with this. You'll see me messing a lot with my fingers. They're still kind of numb, so still dealing with that, trying to figure out life right now. So as we get through this, that's why I kind of haven't been doing morning coffee with Brad. We'll get through it a little bit at a time here, and we'll continue on that path. So a little bit about what's going on for this weekend. I'm going to pop my glasses off if you don't mind. Actually, we're going to try something a little bit different here. Hopefully this is going to... Wish that was taller. All right. Anyway, no, kind of like how it was. Sorry. Okay. So a little bit about this weekend. Lots of hype out there currently, but let me break this down for you. I've been skeptical. I shared a little bit of what the models were showing earlier today. That was just for fun. So, excuse me, I did post on there that this is not a forecast. So please take that as it is. Sorry, my phone's going wild right now. Anywho, so if you're just joining in, welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about weather this afternoon. There was a plane crash in Louisville, and you could actually see the smoke on the radar, which was absolutely bonkers. So, but I kind of want to put some of the rumors to bed right now and show you guys why, when it comes to weather, what's going to happen this weekend. There hasn't been anything really crazy going on locally, so I've kind of stepped back, took a little bit of a break. I'm trying to recover from my surgery, and I mean, it has been a trip on that. So hasn't been the easiest of times of that. So thank you for bearing with me. We'll hopefully eventually get back to morning coffee with Brad. My fingertips are still a little bit numb, but like I said, we'll get through that. So a little bit at a time. So what we're going to talk about is this weekend. There's a whole lot of stuff going on as far as weather. So it's going to be windy the next few days as the system moves through. And then as we get into Friday, this weather is going to take a turn for the worse. So we do have a cold front coming through. The temperatures are going to drop over the weekend. Then we're going to recover into next week. So if we do get any of that winter precipitation, it will be gone very quickly if it decides to stick. So let's talk about the weather models a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and pop over to that screen. I'm not dual screening right now, so this is a little bit of a pain in the neck for me. So bear with me here. But this is kind of the system that we're looking at here. Actually, I'm going to hop in here to Facebook, make sure that I'm looking at this correctly. Bear with me here. I just want to make sure. Yeah, okay. So you can see me. I can't see you. So if there's any comments or anything like that, let me know. So let's talk about what this weekend's going to look like. There's many different models to go through and compare. So, and I'm going to kind of go through a little bit of what I'm looking at. Winter weather is very tricky to forecast. Sure, we have the weather model, which is great, but that's basic information to show you, hey, this is a possibility. There's many different things that go into forecasting that respectively. So let's dig in, shall we? So this is Wednesday. Let's back up. So Sunday. Looks like we're going to start off on the warmer side. So you can see here, this is the warm side where you see the red lines there. You have the low pressure here, and that's going to be bringing that cold air through that jet stream down into our area. Now, how much of that cold air and moisture is going to get into us? That's where the struggle is. So earlier you saw that weather model I posted. It's like 6 inches in our area. Not going to happen. And I knew it wasn't going to happen. Excuse me. But it was fun to share. So, everybody's getting in the hype here. So if you don't know where we're at, we're in this little rectangle right here, right next to Allen County. So we're going to look into that a little bit. We are -5 on the Zulu time. So if we're going to back this back up here. So if you look up there, so that's 06 Zulu. So that is 1 a.m. on Sunday. When we're going to start to get some of that rain breaking up a little bit. And then by, looks like 4 a.m., start getting some of those light snow showers mixing in. And where this is coming from, believe it or not, is going to be the lake over here, Lake Erie. So that's going to come in there, and then we're going to swing on the backside of this here, and we're going to get some of those lake effect snow showers. You can kind of see how that wind changes directions. Now, that's only one model. So let's go up here. Let's take another look at the Canadians and see if they think they're smarter than us. It's Saturday. So the Canadians are saying rain and then nothing for us. Gotta love the Canadians, right? They're always right. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely tired. I'm bonkers tired today. So let's fast forward a little bit here. We've got some rain moving through Friday night into Saturday and then Sunday. So this is dependent. I don't know if you see, come on. Pay no attention to the man behind the mirror. Where that low pressure setup is down here by Indianapolis. So if you're looking at that, and we're on the northern part of that low pressure system, that's what's going to swing around, bring us some of that cold air down from Canada. So, but yet again, the purple's ice. I don't think this is going to be a rainstorm event. And then you start getting some of those lake effect showers and whatnot. But that's about it for us between those two models. And then just one more quick one here. This is it right here. So that actually puts almost the entire state into a snow pattern. So most of the models are showing, hey, something's out there. But what is the big controlling factor? That's going to be dew points, where the temperature lies, and where that low pressure goes through. If it goes, as the GFS here shows, we kind of scoot through here. There's Friday. Now you can see how that low pressure kind of scoots right across that I-70 boundary. And then some have them up here in Michigan. If it's up in Michigan, we're not going to really see anything other than those maybe lake effect flurries. And then another one has it crossing right over us. So a lot of ifs there. So, but one of the things we look at when we're forecasting is going to be the dew point. So you can see that it's really dry up here, but it's also super cold. So the closer the dew point is to the relative temperature, that's going to tell us whether it's going to be a dry snow, a wet snow. What are we looking at? What's the precipitation going to look like? How's the humidity going to interfere with that? So we see very low dew points around here. So in our area, we're around 25 degrees. When that snow comes through, that's about going to be where our temperatures are going to be. So that could be a wet snow. It's still iffy. So the temperatures are going to be dropping. So if the temperatures are higher and the dew point's lower, we're going to be in a drier snow, or no snow at all because it's going to evaporate faster. If we look at the relative humidity for that time frame, it's up there. It's pretty moist. So like I said, there's a lot of variables at play to what's going to throw that snow in, if it's going to throw it in or not. So like I said, it's kind of rocky. And the reason I say that's rocky is, let's go back over to let's go over here. So I want you to pay attention. So you have a low pressure there, right in the Dakotas, right? And then that's going to kind of dissipate. And then you see this system over here, late Wednesday, right off the Pacific coast there. That's coming into play there. That's the system, I think, if I remember right, that we're going to be looking at coming into Friday. So there's the first one. We got that low pressure right up in here in Minnesota, and then we have that other pressure that's going to come in here off the coast. So you have a high pressure blocking it right here, so it's going to have to bump up, and then that jet stream is going to have to push it down. So there's a lot of things that are going to happen for us to get this weather. So we lose the high pressure here in the Rockies. That low pressure forms up here in Canada, and it's going to push down. And then as it comes through, boom, that's when we get our snow. We don't get our snow, whatever happens, right? So if we follow that system, that puts us right there. So that is Thursday afternoon is when that whole system's actually going to come into play and on land. So once that happens, these models are going to go, okay, now I can see what's happening. So that's why a lot of meteorologists and people, they don't like to forecast things this far out. That's why we look at some of these outlandish long-range snow models and just laugh at them. You have nothing else better to do, right? Excuse me. I am absolutely tired. It's been a long day. So looking at these models, seeing how they go through and everything, hopefully that kind of breaks it down a little bit for you. I'm not going to get into too much depth. I could sit here all day and show you exactly what I look at for snowfall. Once we get into this area and we start looking at the rates and everything, like this is showing a really heavy snowfall rate. And it's calling for snow, which is awesome. And then, we look at all the other different parameters. We're sitting at 32, 33 degrees. If you don't know, this is the barometric pressure level. At sea level, we're at 1,000. We're actually just above sea level, so we're going to be right in that 975, 950 range. So that's going to put us right at that 32 degree mark, which is going to be happy for us, hopefully. But as you get up a little higher in the atmosphere, we pop up to 33 degrees, and then the ball drops as you get up higher in the atmosphere. So cloud-based, where's the level of the clouds going to lie? Is it going to be dry? Is it going to be wet? I mean, so many things at play here, and how it's going to fall. So lots of things to think about. We can't really talk about precipitation, what we're going to look like, as far as, okay, the snow depth change, right? So this is how much snow is going to stick to the ground and whatnot. But one thing we got to keep in mind, the ground is still 57 degrees around here right now, and it's going to take a lot of snow for us to get any accumulation. So here comes that system into Sunday, and I mean, we're looking at 1 inch to 0. You see that there? So that's what I'm saying. Don't get overhyped. We can look at the total snowfall in that time frame, and I can get you excited all day and say, hey, there's 3 inches, maybe 4, 2. Guys, it's so difficult to say that that's going to happen at this point. Now, are things really adding up and starting to show their face that things might be agreeing a little bit? Yes. But like I said, we have to get that on-land sampling before I can say, hey, this is what we're looking at. So, and that's why a lot of times you don't see a winter weather advisory or a watch or a warning, more than 24 hours out, because there's so many things that could change as that comes across the country. And the other part you got to think about is, where's that moisture coming from? So, I spend anywhere from an hour to probably 4 hours looking at weather models, depending on what kind of weather's coming. Today, I would say I've probably spent 4 hours looking at this, maybe a little bit more, but it really comes down to, I try to be as accurate as possible when releasing information. So, it gets so frustrating sometimes seeing people throw a forecast out there and say, oh, we were the first ones. Well, hopefully you got lucky. I hate being wrong. And I prided myself last year on predicting snowfalls and whatnot because I took my time and I was able to accurately forecast, I would say, excuse me, a good 90%. So I would consider that an A. Which it takes a lot of pride to me. I've spent a lot of time studying. I have not done this, gone through school or anything like that. I'm 100% self-taught. There's a lot of people out there like that. So let me go ahead and kill that music so we can have a little bit of a better conversation here. But that's really the ick, right? It's the ick. Nobody wants to go to school and learn this stuff, but I tell you what, it is absolutely difficult sometimes. And I mean, there's times where I go old school. I look at different data. I look at different precipitation rates. I look at different precipitation levels versus, different heights in the atmosphere. And I put all that math together. I learned how to do that. It's difficult. It is very difficult. It's very time consuming to pull all that data together. But once you get it all together and you kind of old school it a little bit and you come out with a forecast on something like that, it's amazing to actually, say, hey, this is going to happen. This is about the time it's going to happen. And this is about how much we're looking at. And then it produces. So there was one storm last year, and that's why I say 90%, that I predicted we were going to get probably like 2 inches. Nothing big. And the thing completely just missed us 100%. And I was like, wow, 10 for 10 on that one. Missed 10 out of 10. So I drove me bonkers. I didn't let that go for a long time. So, and that's partially why I'm so careful all the time. So, which isn't a bad thing by any means. So sorry for my hair. I haven't got my hair cut. I haven't really been out in public a whole lot other than going to the doctor and the grocery store. So I kind of feel like I'm a mess, but there it is again. If you want to see it, that's the scar. So I have a plate. It's about that long in my arm right now. There's still a little bit of a angry spot there, but I'm supposed to be wearing my brace. But yeah, the plate's that long. I got 6 screws in there. Bone's healing up well. Can't wait to get back in the gym and start doing some other things. The funny part about it is I might have to have another procedure. So thoughts, prayers, anything you got going on there, I would appreciate it. I'm going back in 3 weeks. We're going to do a cortisone shot, see if that helps out a little bit. Then if not, we're going to go in for surgery. So that is unfortunate, but that's life. That's how I look at it. That's life. It'll be all right. We'll move on. Do you have any questions on anything I talked about? Do you want me to get in a little bit more depth in anything? Would you like me to show you more of the radar, what that's looking like? I'm sorry, not radar, but the weather models. Any information like that, just let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to dig into that a little bit more. Yeah, so a couple things in the community. I did see that My Food Kingdom has closed here in town. They did move to Roanoke. There were some issues within the family that they needed to pull together on, which was, God bless them for that. And I know they opened a store in Roanoke. So they just kind of refocused their efforts a little bit, which is good. Sometimes you gotta redesign something. So, we used to have a different name for this channel. We used to be Stormtrooper Storm Chasing. And I was like, man, it's good, and then I was like, well, I'm always local. Well, most of the time I'm local. So I was like, Huntington County. I think we're going to do that. And here we are. So yeah, any questions? Let me know. I'm more than happy to chat about it. Sorry you guys got to see my little rant about watermarking my information. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. I may reach out to somebody to help me with that, and then we'll go through there. Some of the programs and whatnot I've seen were pretty expensive, so I'm trying to avoid that if I can. Yeah, we'll go from there. So it's just really upsetting. So, I pour my heart and soul into, forecasting, weather, chasing, and it's not cheap. So, for somebody to kind of come and take some information that I pay for and share out of the kindness of my heart, it just, at least share my page, give me a little bit of credit. So that was just irritating for me. And hopefully after today, that problem's solved. He said he's not going to follow the page anymore. So that's fine. That is fine. I'm not butthurt about that at all. So yeah, if we want to talk about anything else, just let me know. I'm going to go take a peek at these models one more time. There is one other thing that I wanted to look at. I think this one had us completely shuttered as far as snow goes. Let's see it get us through Sunday. Well, this one I think was taking us a little later into Sunday. There we go. So this takes us through, so that's through Tuesday. So if you look, that's like 3 inches for our area. But like I said, most of that, if you see where it comes from, it's lake effect, right? So, I mean, we typically don't see that strong of a lake effect presence here in Huntington. So, that's a little difficult to think about that could happen. But the winds are going to be pretty strong. So, yeah. So, actually, let's play with that a little bit. Let's go here. Hopefully, it'll share over. Where do I want to go? Home. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at this. So what the National Weather Service is saying, currently Sunday night, a chance of rain and snow showers, chance of precipitation 30%, Monday 20% chance of snow showers, high near 38. Monday night, low around 22. Veterans Day, which is Tuesday, high near 22. So this is new to me right here. Friday, they're saying possibly a thunderstorm before 1 p.m. So there's that. So that's interesting. So keep that in mind. Wednesday night, we're going to get below freezing. Just barely. But man, you see those temperatures coming up right here Monday night, 22 degrees. They're not saying a whole lot about the wind on here. That's what I was kind of hoping that they would say. But that's kind of... It's kind of too far out to start to talk about that, if that makes sense. So, anything beyond Saturday night, they're not going to really say anything about it. But definitely tomorrow is going to be a breezy day. Hi, Melinda. So make sure you got your trash cans inside, because wind gusts could be as high as 35 miles per hour. I'm going to say personally that those wind gusts could be as high as 45. But we'll see how that actually pans out tomorrow. So right now it's about 50 out. So get out there and enjoy that a little bit. Be a nice night for a fire. Yeah, any questions you have, let me know. We've went over an absolute ton. So let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions or whatnot, be more than happy. I don't know who else is watching. I know Melinda's on right now. But yeah, so we'll switch this over to question and answer time. And I'm excited for that. So if you have any questions, let me know. That's what I'm here for. Oh, and keep in mind, we have some new followers. We were going to do a giveaway at 700 followers. I was talking to Don, and if you're like, what are we doing a giveaway for, Brad? Anybody remember this guy? I still have 2 of them. This one and a pink one. Hello. It's been a while since I turned it on, so everything's got to get twisting. So would you like your very own tornado? Anyway, So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to announce a contest on snowfall amounts for this weekend, even though we just cheated and I showed you all the current weather models, but that's going to change like 3 times. So, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Probably change it at least 4 or 5 more times. But we'll keep an eye on it. That's what we're here for. We'll do the hard work so you don't have to. I plan on coming out with our first snowfall forecast, if snow is going to happen, probably Friday. And we'll do a really good weather discussion on that. If I have anything solid come Thursday that I'm really feeling good about, we might talk about it Thursday evening. I know that's only 2 days away, but I mean, these models changed 5 times today as it is. So, like I said, until Thursday afternoon, I'm not going to have a solid idea of what anything looks like. Friday would probably be the best day to really see what's going on there. But the weather models are all showing our first flakes are going to be this weekend. So if you want to get in on the giveaway, I will announce that. It's going to be accumulation related. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So I'll probably announce that later this week or something like that. So anywho, any questions you have, let me know. That's what we're here for, guys. We're just chilling tonight, having a good time. But yeah, this morning I got up, went to the dentist. Funny story. Okay. Excuse me. Funny story. So I get up 5:40 this morning. I go shower, make coffee, everything's going well. And I take off. And I make it to 24 because I was going to Fort Wayne. And I'm on 24 and I'm like, 6:14. Oh no. I got to the VA 45 minutes early. No, it was an hour early. I'm sorry. I got there a whole hour early. So I sat out in the parking lot for like 45 minutes and I walked in and the dental office wasn't even open yet. So then I go in the office and I'm like, once they open and they're like, "You're early." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm usually late." But that's how my morning started. And then went to Sam's Club, and we have some friends coming into town next week, which is going to be cool. And we're going to do our Thanksgiving next week. And then I go to work. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. Hopefully it's going to be exciting. Still haven't decided yet if I'm going to do morning coffee with Brad on the way there or if we'll do something in the evenings. I haven't decided on that yet. Let me know what you think about that. And we'll go from there. So, all right, guys. Well, I've been on here for about a half an hour. And we're going to go ahead and hop off here. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you want to help me out and you ever see anybody using any of my content, let me know so I can report that. I would rather them share it or give us credit. Share would be better, but at least give us credit. So I'm not asking you to be a snitch. Just shoot us a private message. We don't need to call anybody out or anything like that, and I'll just report it, and we'll be happy. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. Yeah, and we'll be back soon with Morning Coffee with Brad, hopefully. Until then, I'll talk to you tomorrow. May the Lord bless you. May he keep you. And may you have a great evening. Sleep well, my friends.